Hi, everybody. I'm Donna Frasca, psychic medium for Angel Hug 234, and welcome to Mornings with a Medium. What I like to do with these videos, I don't do them every morning, but usually once a week or so, once every 2 weeks, is just chat about things that are on my mind. Today, I want to talk about things that are frustrating to me as a medium. Okay, so about a week and a half ago, a friend of mine had gone to the park, and I love going in the woods. I love the trees and, the sights and the sounds and, the way the trees feel and how everything looks. I just prefer the woods, let's say, over a beach. So I go into this particular park that is by my house, and I just look at these trees and I notice how some of them are growing really tall, thin, side by side each other, like a doorway. They're growing right next to each other, straight as can be, and really, really high. And there's a bunch of them in the woods like that. And I call them the doorways. I don't know what that means, but to me, they look like doorways. And at one point, I even just walked through one and pretended that as I pass through these two trees that look like a doorway, I'm going to pop into another realm. Yeah, that's my magic mind. Why not? It's all fun. However, on some level, it just resonates with me. It just is. It just does. So I'm walking through these woods with my friend, and she's chatting with me. We're on this windy path. There's nobody else around, and just us two. And I'm kind of ahead of her. She's behind me, and I turn around, to chat with her, continue the conversation. And behind her, I saw something clear as a day. And I look at her, I'm like, oh my gosh. I go, turn around and tell me what you see. So she turns around, and of course, it wasn't there. And she's like, well, what did you see? I'm like, I'm not sure what it was, but it was really tall. I want to say a good 7 or 8 feet tall. It was standing between these two trees, a doorway. It was gray, and it wasn't 100% solid, but it was a good 80% solid. It just wasn't like, a little glimpse of something or a little flutter or glitter that a lot of people see on the corner of their eyes, their vision. I saw it straight on, clear as day, and it was big. It was gray, not like a solid gray, but it was gray here, then it lightened up a little bit, like a gradient gray. And it had no face, it had no human features, but it had something round on top where a head would be. And the body was kind of like a triangle. And I think it had something straight on the bottom that resembled something that it stands on, such as legs. Kind of come to think of it, I've seen this before in my house, these gray images, very tall. And I'm seeing them outside. Again, I don't know what they are. I'm sure that maybe someday I will find out. But anyway, it was wicked because I saw it standing in between these two doorways, which these two trees. Man, was I excited when I saw that. And I looked at her. I said, look. I said, did you see that? And she's like, no. I'm like, okay. And she's sensitive. She's an empath, somewhat. And I'm like, okay, what do you feel here? And I went right to the doorway and I stood in it. And I closed my eyes and I'm like, what do I see? What do I feel? What do I sense here? And I just saw words going, throughout my mind, but it was distracting because I wanted the validation from my friend that she saw it too. And she didn't. And I got frustrated and I'm like, oh, here's another amazing thing that I saw and I can't prove it. I don't really need to prove it to anybody. I saw it and that's okay for myself. But like I said, it's frustrating. And I said to her, I'm like, okay, do you sense anything here? And as I said that, from my knees down, I felt like goosebumps, a coolness from my knees down. And what she said was, well, from down here, I see like waves or some kind of energy. I'm like, well, that's possible because that's where I feel it on my legs. So it was kind of a validation of something. But anyway, yeah, guys, it's so frustrating. Again, a lot of these things that mediums see or other people see that others don't see. And when you try to explain it to them, the excitement gets lost in translation, or they look at you like, sure. Or there she goes again, seeing these amazing things and I don't see anything. And then suddenly you find yourself not hanging out with that person anymore because what you see is so amazing and they don't see it. I don't know. But it is what it is. And I have to learn to change that frustration into just something else. I don't want to be frustrated when I see something amazing just because other people can't see it or understand it. I don't want to make my experience anything less than amazing. But anyway, I just want to share that with you, Mornings with a Medium. And we see things that are amazing. And if you're a medium and you see things, just keep your spirits up high, your third eye open, and just validate it for yourself, because that's all that matters. All right, guys. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me with this 15 minutes of Mornings with a Medium. Bye-bye.